Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is. It's your man Wildcard Mar back in the building. I know. I already did a show a couple of hours ago with my man Tyler Drummond. I know we was talking Green Bay Packers, and I'm back again because we are talking Washington Commanders. And hey, I always got to reach out to this guy. I know he's very busy. And this man is covering NASCAR, box car, Autobot car. I mean, this man is covering everything Washington related in his neck of the woods. He's covering all. And I saw he's about to cover some high school football around his neck of the woods too. Hey, man, welcome back to the show. One of my favorite guests. Hey, man, it's Couch Coach. What's good, bro?
What's going on, Mark, man? It's been a while. How you been, man?
I know. I'm over here trying to be. I'm over here messing up the executive producer's skills. I'm fumbling over here, but now I'm good. Couch, man, good to see you, man. Now, hey, how are you, man? How's everything, bro?
Everything's good, man. Like you said, just grinding, man. Just keep on working and get ready in our favorite time of the year, football season. It's great. It's great now. You know, I'm covering a local college football team, and we got game notes, and I'm just been overjoyed, excited, been looking at that stuff for the last 2 days, and man, it almost feel like Christmas in a sense. But yeah, man, for sure.
For sure. Hey, tell the people where they can find you at, man.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Couch Coach Live. Also the website, couchcoachlive.com.
Hey, Couch is on it, man. He's doing a lot, man. He's you know, he may not know it, but if y'all see how much content I'm putting out, it's because I'm trying to keep up with this guy because he understands the formula. You got to put out lots of content and stay consistent, and he knocks off both of those check marks. Boom, boom, and boom, boom. He stays consistent, and he's putting out a lot of content, covering a lot of stuff. So, whether you believe, you think I do a lot. That guy right there.
Man, appreciate it, man.
Hey, you and Cool. I be trying to keep up with you and Cool. I can't do it. I can't do it. But I try. Let me ask you this about your Washington Commanders, man. I ahead of schedule. Is that fair to say, especially with the results of last year, 12-5 season? You had to be thinking like, come on, man, we're way ahead of schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the best case scenario last year was, hey, maybe we'll win 9 games, maybe 10, and that's being hyperbolic this time last year. But for them to win 12 games and actually go to the NFC Championship game, I don't think no one expected the run that Washington did last year. We thought we were part of it's kind of a weird situation now where you're still in a sense kind of rebuilding, but then you have the success as well. So now people still realize this is year 2 of a rebuild, but there's still championship Super Bowl aspirations for this team. So it's kind of where it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's like a catch-22 if you want to say, but it's interesting times in Washington, to say the least.
Yeah. How much, in your opinion, will you attribute that to the new management ownership?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you just think of the culture in itself. If you look at even the grades, you know, when they talk about like as far as the facilities, the environment, all that, nothing has changed except for ownership. We still got the same facilities, we still got the same arena thing, except for the new ownership and the management. Adam Peters, what he's doing, and also the coach and DQ. So yeah, it's a whole overhaul, and you can tell the difference for sure.
Okay. And yeah, because I mean, hey, nobody 12-5 nobody.
No.
If you had that on your bingo card, you might as well go ahead and play the lottery and change your life right now, because but a lot of that big process of being ahead of schedule was your quarterback play, and he came out and showed the damn thing. I mean, to be fair, he's Jay Daniels did come into that draft about 24, 25 years old, so a little bit more mentally mature than most quarterbacks. So that's to his advantage for sure. Year 2, the vaunted sophomore slump always gets thrown out there, man. what are you feeling that you think that he ain't even tripped out no damn sophomore slump? You confident that he's going to be able to avoid it, or it's just inevitable? That's just part of football. What you thinking?
I'm extremely confident he's going to have a just as a good year. It might be some situations where you might see some gains where it might have some regression, but I think now, especially considering the fact year 2 with Cliff Kingsbury, because most people, you have a success like that, usually the offensive coordinator goes to another team and becomes a head coach, and Cliff, thankfully, he stayed for year number 2. So I definitely see that where there's still another continuity with Cliff. And then I just think the mindset of Jaden. I think that the thing about him, and I know a lot of people always try to compare him to the 2012 Rookie of the Year that was on this team 13 years ago. There is a stark difference. Obviously, I think he is more of a love the game of football more than anything. So I think his preparation is always, to me, has always been great. And he's one of those ones where he's cool under pressure. It's kind of one of the things where it's like nothing really gets to him, and it's kind of crazy, especially in your rookie year. Like you see some people a little bit phased out and kind of having some issues, but you never really seen nothing like as far as nothing bad out of Jaden as far as emotional wise or like having an outburst on the sidelines or doing anything crazy. He's been pretty even keeled, mellow, and that's kind of one of the things where it's kind of scary, but it's kind of like it's almost like we actually finally got a franchise quarterback, and it's like it's good, but it's kind of scary.
No, I feel you. I feel you. And trust, it's when you get your guy, it's like, damn, this is our quarterback. Trust me, it took me a minute once I finally stopped pinching myself once I figured out Patrick Mahomes was my quarterback, but. When it comes to Jaden Daniels, I think you hit it on the head. Even killing, that's what I always give him. It's like he's not too up, he's not too down. He's just, and it's consistent. Like whatever the moment was, like I knew y'all had something or potential that could be something good was when that Monday night in Cincinnati. I was like, oh, he's not scared of the moment because that fan, the crowd's going crazy. Is prime time, is Monday night. The whole world is watching literally you and Joe Burrow, and it's kind of like, all right, he toe to toe, dropped some dimes, made some plays, led his team to victory. He hit the full trifecta, and I was like, oh, okay. All right, Washington might got something here.
Yeah, and that was a time where, and like you said, I think that's when to me I felt like he got it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a thing where it's like, because obviously the 2 games prior to it, you look at the Tampa Bay situation where pretty much they just threw the kid to sick at him. He was able to get like 80 some rushing yards, so still lost that game. Then the Giants game was a little kind of shaky. Obviously, we won with 7 field goals. We won that game, but then Cincinnati, it was crazy how we went from that Giants game where we really didn't score any touchdowns, pretty much lighting up against Cincinnati. And I know people will say, well, they had a terrible defense, but it happened. And it's one of the things where it's just like, it's something that you really didn't think that moment we thought would have been too big for most. But like you said, I think that's when he finally got it, and when everything kind of clicked, which most people don't get that moment until year 2, year 3, or midpoint of their rookie year. He got it the 3rd week of the season.
Yeah. So, and I mean, he started day one. As soon as all right, here's the keys to the kingdom. Let's see what you do. And I know it's probably preferred by most fans. Hey, I prefer that the guy sits, learn the game of the NFL game, and then at some point in the season, put him in. But hey, to take the reins from day one and lead the team to 12-5 in NFC Championship game appearance is nothing to sneeze at. So, but how you feeling about just the fact that they did make the NFC Championship game, and then there's expectations now this year? It's got to be pressure.
Yeah, and I think it's a great thing. I mean, it's something where it kind of took the monkey off the back, where when you look at those graphics where it's like the last team that went to an NFC Championship game. It was like us in Dallas, and now to kind of be off that futility list in a sense, it's kind of one of the things where and it kind of just shows you like the future is bright for this team. And I think with me, and I know unlike other fans in a sense, but I understand maybe next year may not be a Super Bowl year potentially or something, but at least hey, you were building on that championship game experience. And I think it's just one of those where you just look at it where, yeah, you come out really, you come out ecstatic about the future of this team where you look at kind of what they have and considering the fact this team's still gonna improve because you still have that rookie quarterback in Jayden Daniels. You still have that rookie salary of Jayden Daniels, so you still be able to kind of get pieces from here and there. And then you just like how Adam Peters kind of structured the team as far as having these 1-year deals on guys. So it's pretty much almost like a trial period for all those. So basically that lends for improvement each and every year. So it's not nobody really locked in for X amount of time. So that's a kind of a good thing too, where I think Washington potentially from a salary cap standpoint definitely has about a good 3 to 4 year window.
Hey, well, one guy that's going to be part of that window, and he definitely has a big chunk attributed to the salary cap. Sure. Scary Terry, man, 3-year deal, $96 million, 30 of it on the signing bonus or signing guarantee. As soon as he signed the dotted line, they gave him that type of money. What was delayed? What? I mean, Couch. Obviously, you know the importance of Terry McLaurin. But as a football fan, and his rookie year almost had 1,000 yards. Literally was 81 yards away from 1,000 yards. Other than that, he's giving you a minimum of 1,000. All right. And I get it. Rookie year, he only gave you 7 TDs. Last year, he blew up and gave you double digits. And in between there, he gave you a couple of 4s, a couple of 5s. But what I'm saying is, before Jayden Daniels, you're talking about Heineke, Sam Howell. You're talking about who else in name in there you could throw in there if this man is throwing them the football. And
he got it. Garrett Gilbert even threw him a touchdown pass on a Monday Night Football game on a Tuesday. Trust me, it's a lot. Case Keenum, Carson Wentz, and even and God rest his soul, the late Dwayne Haskins. Like we talk about Taylor Heineke, Sam Howell, Cal Allen, Alex Smith. God, who else? The list goes on.
After name,
it's tons of quarterbacks that he has had. I think his first one was the Case Keenum. His first ever touchdown was thrown by Case Keenum. So it's a lot. It's a lot of quarterbacks have thrown to Terry.
Well, what's the delay? I mean, come on. Yeah. The whole football world knows it's important. We got it got done, but why so late?
I think it, like you said, it really came down to like the money, like the annual in the sense, because you look at it from the standpoint, because obviously his camp, his agent pretty much wanted kind of what DK got, which was 33 annually. So in a sense, DK kind of reset the market for this quote unquote year. But you see how it got to 32. So it's kind of one of those where I think, because a lot of people was thinking that Washington was going to probably lean in that 28, 30 range initially. But then it's like, obviously you have like a guy like a DK who obviously Terry has a better stat line than DK. So the 32 was kind of, I think, was at the meeting point. And they probably thought to themselves, well, because DK, I think he'll be 28 in December versus Terry, he'll be 30 in September. So it's kind of one of the things where, it's a year and some change difference. So that's why I think they might have had that sticking point. Like, hey, I do want to get DK money, but I'm right at 32. So he's like right at that AJ Brown. I think they're like, sixth tied for 6, like the 6th highest paid wide receivers. And yeah, I think it's just that's what it was all boiled down to, the numbers. And then, we knew it was going to get done because it was a hold in. He was at the facility just about every day.
Mhm.
He was, he was there. You seen him like talking with Adam Peters, seeing him talking with Josh Harris. So we knew a deal was going to eventually get done.
Yeah.
I, I had a panic meter a little bit. I was like, if this deal don't get done after Labor Day, I'm panicking. But for it to happen on Monday, I was like, okay, we good. Because I thought that was gonna be like the cutoff. Like, if we ain't getting him by Labor Day, because Labor Day is really essentially game week.
Yeah.
So you think to yourself, if we not signed by Monday,
Mm-hmm.
that's not good. So it's like, so I figured it was gonna be the start of preseason. I thought it was gonna be a Monday Night Football game against Cincinnati because Adam Schefter came in town. But of course, everybody was like, "Well, it don't matter." Then he, was off the pup list. So we like, okay, we getting close. But hey, it didn't happen at that time. But it happened, almost 2 weeks to the date. So hey, crisis aborted for sure.
Yeah. Hey, look, you got a wide receiver that produces and he's durable. He's literally played every 17 game for the last 4 years. I think rookie and sophomore year he played 14 and 15 respectively for one of those 2 years. So the guy's around, he balls, and he's been here consistent on one. I'm just as a football fan like, what are we doing? Like, because I don't want to harm the second year of Jaden Daniels. I don't want to disrupt that. All right. Exactly. I also, and as we, follow-up question, the impact of having Scary Terry and what does that mean for Debo as you bring Debo in? Speak on that one.
It's gonna be interesting, and it's one of those things where in that Cincinnati game, as I just talked about a little earlier, I like Debo in our package. Like as far as you see that jet sweep that he had in that first possession. Well, the only really possession that we had as far as Jaden Daniels being in. I looked at that's very effective. And then you think to yourself, now you adding in, that element plus Terry, because I think Terry could be one of the ones that can take the top off the defense. He's gonna have those long plays. It's gonna be really, really interesting how this all gonna play out. But I definitely think Debo is gonna have a lot of a lot of plays where he'll be like in an RPO situation where we'll have him as a runner. So it's gonna be really interesting. He's gonna be a huge asset to our offense for sure. And it may not, like you said, but as far as from a statistical standpoint, he may not see like, oh yeah, he's gonna have like 1,000-yard receiving season, whatever. Like what you think like with Debo potentially, but I think he'll have some big impact plays for sure.
Yeah, and he'll have the opportunities, and obviously, he does have the tendency to get a little bit banged up, might miss a game or two here or there. So if he's available, take advantage of the opportunities because almost for him similar in San Francisco. There was a lot of talent around him in San Francisco. Having Scary Terry on one side should free him up, hopefully, and hopefully whatever he can add right there. I asked this to my man Tyler Drummond when we were talking Green Bay Packers. I'm gonna pose the same question to you. Biggest question mark. Offensive side of the ball or defensive side of the ball?
Probably gonna be defensively. When you look at just as far as look at that defensive line. I mean, you got some solid guys there. Obviously, Dorrance Armstrong, Deron Payne. Also, you got Javon Kinlaw. You acquired Von Miller. So it's gonna be really interesting of how that's gonna happen. Those, as far as that's going to be really the big key on this one, as far as us getting, potentially some penetration to get to the quarterback. That's going to be the biggest key, especially now when we have such a daunting schedule. We have a lot of great quarterbacks. So pretty much the name of the game is, hey, get to the quarterback and apply pressure. Can those guys, can that unit do that? So that's going to be kind of one of the major keys for that. And I look at that secondary. I think the secondary is pretty well. I mean, obviously now you got year 2 and Marshawn Lattimore now. What a first full year for Marshawn Lattimore in this defense. just want to see how he plays, especially how he kind of will control his emotions. Obviously, it was on display in the NFC Championship game, and also in a wild card against. And now, like we talked about, as far as having a good quarterback that we're playing, but we're also playing some good wide receivers too as well. So just want to see how he kind of goes. That's where, and then we, obviously a young secondary got Trey Amos, the rookie out of Ole Miss, and you still got some young guys like Mike Sandstro, our guy from Michigan. They look at younger guys like Quan Martin. So you just want to see how that secondary kind of plays out, and that's gonna be to me the biggest question mark is how this defense will play, especially under with the acquisition that we got, plus kind of the youth that we got on defense as well.
I hear that. I know. I don't know how Bobby Wagner found that fountain of youth last year.
No, right? And that's right. That's what I'm saying, man.
I don't know. Hey, he must have been hanging with the Jamaicans. He on that ginger diet or something. I don't know.
Hey. New surroundings, new organization.
How did you feel about the Von Miller pickup? I mean, obviously, he's 35, 36. You're not getting the same, obviously Von Miller, 5-6 years ago. What was your initial feelings on that one?
I liked it. I think it's like he's a locker room presence, almost similar to Bobby Wagner. Yeah, I don't like people. That's one thing too. You look at, he's another kind of guy where you'll see the impact, not necessarily on the stat sheet, but you'll see it. You'll see the impact that he'll have. And like I said, and I hope people don't think you're going to get that Von Miller, like you talked about it, the Super Bowl MVP Von Miller of 10 years ago, 5 years ago. That's not going to happen. Yeah. But you're going to have a guy that, like almost like Bobby Wagner, he's going to be another one that's going to potentially put his Washington team over the top, and he'll give you that. I love it. It's just like one of those things where it's like, hey, it's vets, so definitely have that veteran leadership is definitely key for this Washington Commanders team. I know we're like one of the oldest teams in the league, but hey, it is what it is, and but our old guys aren't necessarily reliant on the bulk of the the responsibility on defense. They're really pretty much our locker room guys, our vets that's going to help the younger guys to up to the next level.
Yeah, help them be professionals. I think that's key. Something that, like you said, a lot of stuff you can't put on the stat sheet or put a value to it, but it turns out to be important or key factors that help why you got to the NFC Championship game. So just kind of put that in your thought process. You brought up interesting something right here, and let's take a peek at these schedule, man. Like you said, it's starting off pretty hectic. Well, division rival as you kick off the season. You got the New York Giants coming into town. How you feeling about that one?
That's gonna be a really interesting game, and like I've been saying pretty much since the beginning of when the schedule was released, this is a different Giants team. So, and to me, they're a lot better. They're another tough team. Now you add in like a Russell Wilson to the fold. Now year 2 of Malik Neighbors. That offensive line is solid, and then just that whole defensive line, Dexter Lawrence, Thibodeau, those guys, and then also Duke Carter. They're going to be tough. It's going to like a knockout, drag out NFC East battle. It's going to be a pack your lunch type of game. It might have to pack 2 lunches because I think the Giants team is legit.
Yeah. Then go on the road to Lambeau Field, Green Bay. Yeah, you guys are starting off pretty tough. And then
tonight.
Thursday night, and then after that you get the Raiders back at home. I kind of speak on those 2 games right there.
Yeah, that Green Bay game is going to be really interesting. That's going to be another game where you got that essentially that 4 days, which really sucks because you got that game Sunday game against the Giants, and then now you have to pretty much travel to Green Bay probably Wednesday. So your week is going to be really condensed. And that's really a tough team to face at home, especially on a Thursday night. Obviously, like we talked about it, you look at like what Jordan Love and what those guys are doing. So that's going to be really tough. But I do, if I had to prefer to have somewhat like of a bad week in a sense, this would probably be the perfect time to kind of have it as far as like, the next game is in 10 days situation. And now that lends to the Raiders situation where I think that's going to be another interesting game. Obviously you'll have Geno Smith in the fold. So, and that'll be an early game for them. Obviously that'll be a 10 a.m. body clock game for them. So, hopefully we can take advantage of that.
Yeah. Going west to east, man. Always tough. Man, got to go down to the dirty South, ATL, and then another back away game. Fly out west.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be interesting. I know, and this is where these are gonna be some pivotal games. Obviously, you look at the Falcons; it's not necessarily a rematch of essentially that Week 17 game that pretty much went down to the wire, the overtime game, and now you want to see what Michael Penix can do. Pretty much at this point, he'll have another 3 games under his belt. When he had this matchup at home on the 28th of September. So really interesting game to say the least. And then the Chargers one is really interesting. Now we actually going to play them at their stadium. The last time we went to Los Angeles, we played at that god-awful soccer stadium and they beat the crap out of us. So it's going to be interesting now going to SoFi and playing the Chargers, which is probably going to be a home game for the Washington Commanders. Quiet as kept. So I'm going to be really interested in seeing how that's all going to play out for sure.
Yeah. How you feeling about Caleb Williams year 2 or year 1, I should say, with Ben Johnson?
I actually like it. I always look at what Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams had a fairly decent rookie year outside of a Jaden Daniels and a Bo Nix. And if you took them out of the equation, he would have been someone, him and like Drake May would have been kind of like neck and neck as far as when it comes to what they're doing. I definitely like what Ben Johnson is cooking up in Chicago. Obviously now Caleb has an offensive guy that rallies behind them, and they're doing it right as far as getting the offensive line together. You're looking at they got the playmakers as well. This is another interesting game. This is a Monday Night Football game. The last, obviously, people gonna still think about the Hail Mary. And they're gonna wear the black jerseys, and I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. I think because I'm still thinking about that game 2 years ago when we played them on a Thursday night and they beat the mess out of us, and DJ Moore looked like Jerry Rice that night. That scares me about this game for sure.
Nah, I feel that. And then of course, them boys in blue, and always a fan favorite amongst Commanders fans that got to travel to Dallas. How you feeling about your first matchup in Dallas?
Very interesting. That's another one to toss up too, and that's going to be a hard game as well. Obviously, when you got NFC East opponents, it's going to be a struggle. So it's not one of those where you look at it like it's going to be an easy W on the schedule. No, these guys, we're so familiar with these guys. It's gonna be a really interesting game. Hopefully, it's gonna be like how it was in the season finale where we won that game in a clutch fashion. Another Terry touchdown. So yeah. No
doubt. Hey, gotta come to Arrowhead Monday night. Tough stretch right there. Week 8, and then week 9, Seattle. Man, another tough little set you got right there. So at Dallas, at Kansas City, then get Seattle at home, man. Tough stretch.
Yeah, and Kansas City, that's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, you definitely want to see the quarterback matchup between Mahomes and Daniels. It's funny because I always think about the last matchup that we went to our Arrowhead when Alex Smith was doing this thing while your boy Mahomes was redshirting in Kansas City, and it was a really tough game. Obviously, didn't come up with the win. We had some moments in that game potentially to win that game, but just couldn't do it. We sounds the crowd for maybe like a few minutes, but then I'm telling you, that's gonna be a loud place. Like I said, I told somebody the other day, when that happened 8 years ago. I still remember it like it was yesterday. I'm telling you, I don't even think I could hear what I was thinking about. It was that loud. People, I think, and when people you hear it on TV say, "Oh, this it's loud," but when she's there, you're like, "Oh yeah, it's loud and it's hectic and chaotic." So the time we was able to kind of shut them up, I was like, "Yeah, this is perfect." But then obviously they counted back, and Alex Smith saved the day for you guys, and it's gonna be a really fun game for sure.
Yeah. We was this close to having it in the Super Bowl last year.
Really, very much so.
We was this close. Seattle's got a young defense that's going to start hopefully maturing together, and hopefully, I'm not going to say LOB 2.0, but they kind of got a little sprinkling of it, just a little bit. Any concerns about that Week 9 matchup?
Yeah, they're another team that's like a dark horse where they can get you at any point. Luckily, we actually have it at home, and that'll be one of our Super Bowl era Jersey nights. So, really gonna be interesting how this all gonna play out. Obviously, Mike McDonald, to me, almost like, I wouldn't say like a young Pete Carroll, but more so of a guy, really like a defensive guy. Now Sam Bradford. Not Sam Bradford, Lord. Sam Darnold and crew. They'll do their thing, and it's gonna be really it's gonna be a very intriguing game, to say the least, for sure.
No doubt. And of course, Detroit, you get them at home, but they're gonna be looking for revenge on their mind for that playoff game. You feeling confident about that matchup?
Yeah, that's gonna be a really interesting game. Obviously, like you said, it's gonna be a rematch of the NFC divisional game. And you really want to see what kind of Detroit got, what's going on with them. Obviously, with their losses of the offensive and defensive coordinator, and to see kind of how Detroit kind of responds to that. Obviously, we'll kind of know the makeup of that team. Going into Week 10 after them playing 9 games, you'll kind of see what this Detroit team has. So that's going to be another interesting game. And definitely now can prepare us to go to Spain.
Yes, go to Spain. Obviously, but they did do you a favor, and I think they didn't give the Browns a favor because they're going to London, play the Vikings, and they got to play the following week. So you guys at least get your bye week after the international game to take on Spain. You're in Spain taking on the Dolphins. Unfortunately, you got to give up a home game for it. So, man. I think you got to be confident about that one, because I'm not confident about Dolphins, their offensive line, and the quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm kind of. I think this will be a good game, but I always think about the last time we went international. We played the Cincinnati Bengals in 2016. We tied that game, and that will forever live in my mind rent free. That game against Cincinnati in October of 2016.
So you like no more international games? I'm down.
And I thought we was going to escape it, but I was like, now with the success of not having Jay Daniels, I can see us international hopping for foreseeable future. I could definitely see where they want to kind of showcase a talent like Jay Daniels.
Yeah,
but yeah, because they didn't want to. When we had Case Keenum, they didn't want us. They wanted to stay where we was at. When we had Heineke, they wanted to stay where we at. But
then some more tough matchups. You guys got a tough little schedule this season for sure. You get Denver at home, and then you got to go to Minnesota. That's off the bye, so that's what you're going straight into, man. How you feeling about those two matchups?
Yeah, Denver. This is another matchup. You look at it. Look at two matchups. Obviously, the Bo Nix versus Jane Daniels, and then the individual matchup I really want to see is PS2 versus Terry. See what So that's kind of probably one of those where it's wide receiver by committee type of game. Denver's another team that is a really scary team as well too. They're another team that could potentially make a run in the AFC West. So it's really interesting. the Minnesota Vikings, I do think they're still going to be a good team in spite of losing Sam Darnold. I think J.J. McCarthy, uh, he can do enough just to get by with that team. As far as I don't necessarily think he has to be, put up gaudy numbers in a sense. I think he can like almost kind of like what he did in Michigan. I think if he can, and I think if he can kind of do that where he's able to, just move the chains and do what he need to do. He got two good receivers. Obviously, at that time, Jordan Addison will be in the fold. Yep. So that's another thing where I kind of wish we played them like in the first 3 weeks. But this is how it works. It'll be a nice cold day in Minnesota. Obviously, we'll probably see a good glimpse of Jared. What's good? What's his face? The former guy. I can't say Jared Allen. It's not Jared Allen. It's God, I can't believe I didn't drew a blank. Not Jared Allen. No, it's not Jared Allen. What is?
That been retired.
No, it's God, I cannot believe I'd have forgot my boy from the Commanders that went to Minnesota. Jonathan Allen, my bad. Jonathan Allen.
Oh yeah, him.
Yeah, okay. Jonathan Allen.
Yeah.
And then,
he joins Brian Flores and the rest of that crew. Ooh.
So I definitely think, I know I drew a blank, but man.
But I think the reason why you guys let him go because he was having durability issues, like staying healthy, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, and then you got 2 more division opponents coming up. Yeah, go to East Rutherford, New Jersey, take on the Giants, and then followed up with the home game against the Eagles.
Man, it's gonna be some interesting games. Obviously, you look at the Giants. Really want to see what they are at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if we are facing like a Jackson Dart-led New York Giants team at this point, potentially, because I think that's pretty much the plan. You obviously get Russ in the fold initially, and then bring in him because you're thinking that is week 15. So that's like the final 4 games of the season. So I definitely think if they're not in playoff contention, then we'll definitely see Jackson Dart in that matchup.
And then you got to see the Super Bowl champs, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, you'll see them. And actually, we'll see them throughout the next 3 weeks. So it's going to be kind of interesting how that's all going to play out. And I think this time is going to be a lot different because I think both these teams will be playing for something almost similar to kind of the week 16 matchup that we had at home last year, where we would fight for playoffs and they were pretty much and in the same token as well, pretty much even though they had the East sold up. But this is going to be a knockout drag out, like I said, to be determined. That's gonna be probably a Saturday primetime game. If not, it's it's gonna be flexed out. It's gonna be either we're gonna be on somebody at night, not Thursday, but Saturday night, that Saturday night game on NFL Network, or that Sunday night football game for sure, potentially.
No doubt.
But yes,
At Christmas, look at that,
man!
Jingle bells, take on the Cowboys.
Ooh, we playing on Christmas Day on Netflix. Crazy. But this is another Super Bowl era game as well where we've been wearing our white Super Bowl era jerseys. The crowd is going to be up there. I know it's going to be fantastic. So another one is going to be really interesting for sure.
Yeah, they picked the right opponent.
The good thing about that is we got to, even though you got that short week after Philly, but at least now in this case, we'll essentially potentially have 9 or 10 days to prepare for this matchup in the season finale, and we go to Philly. So
yeah, man. Hey, looking at that schedule, that's gonna be a gauntlet.
It is tough. I'm dead. But hey, that's what you want because now, so for the haters to be like, oh well, y'all didn't play nobody last year. Yeah, because we was 4-13. That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Now you play a second place schedule, and so what's kind of like your expectations? As obviously there's pressured, 12-5 NFC Championship game, and we just went through that very, very, very tough schedule. What's kind of like your expectations. You could throw a win-loss record on there, or you
Yeah.
want to speak on just what you're hoping to see from the team overall. Go ahead.
Yeah, so as I predicted, I do think the Washington Commanders will be 11-6, and I think that'll be enough to win the NFC East. I think it will come down to that Week 18 game potential, or maybe that Week 16 matchup against Philly. And I just think that this team will find ways to win football games, and I think that's the good thing about the situation. Yeah, you want to have it tough because you really want to see what this team is all about, and I think even I looked at last year when we went to that 3-game losing streak, you kind of see what this team was all about, and then end up winning 5 straight games heading into the playoffs. So, yes, this team is going to have some adversity. It's not going to be 12-5 like last year. I could definitely see us. Obviously, I know a lot of people say, well, the team, who y'all played last year. Yes, granted, but we still, I still think we have a legitimate shot to win 11 games and capture the NFC East, because pretty much at this point, nobody has repeated as NFC East champs. And then we won in 2015. We won in 2020. So it feels like it's a 5-year run every time we win a division the last 10 years. So I think it's time for us to win it this year.
I get that. I dig that, and I dig that, man. Hey, man, this was always fun. I always appreciate talking ball with you, Couch, man. Like I said, man, I always admire your hard work ethic, staying consistent, always pushing out their content. So make sure you tell the folks one more time where they can find you at, my brother.
Yes, indeed. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. Pretty much Couch Coach Live, and also the website, couchcoachlive.com. Also YouTube as well, Couch Coach Live. And Ma, once again, always a pleasure to talk with you. Talk anything sports. We talk anything. But yeah, definitely appreciate you having me on today.
No doubt. Hey, I know where to find me. Going over KC Wildcard Mar on my Twitter page, I.O.W Sports Network on all social media platforms. Hey, man, always a great time. We appreciate you. So on behalf of my man, Couch Coach, I'm Wildcard Mar. Hey, man, we out of here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.